Well, I'd like to thank KSTP for offering me the time for a public service announcement, 2 minute spot. And I just came from there and I basically gave the same message I'm going to give to you here tonight. Basically, the short scoop on this campaign. Uh, I'm going to go a little bit over 2 minutes. That's a really hard cut. I hope you watch some of those PSAs. But basically, I'm saying this. I'm Steve Carlson. I'm your Independence Party nominee for U.S. Senator from Minnesota on December 4th. So if elected, I'll caucus with the Democrats, Republicans, and the other independent senators. No gridlock for me, and that's the way it should be. Now, I did not seek the endorsement of that Independence Party, but I did win the primary, and I think that's fine. That's allowed. So you'll be able to find me at the top of your ballot when you vote on November 4th. And I urge you all to do that. I want to give you a few reasons why you might want to, on November 4th, you might want to just stop and check Steve Carlson for U.S. Senate instead of going on to Al Franken and Mike McFadden. And I was just across the street from KSTP at a pharmacy for retired liberal university professors. And they had a sign on the wall from Paul Wellstone that said, "Politics is about improving the lives of people." And I said, I knew Paul Wellstone, and I believe the same thing he does. I would still like to believe the same thing, but I don't think that that is what politics is about anymore. Instead, it's about people like Al Franken and his party rigging elections. They're basically demanding gender quotas, racial quotas, everything else whenever they endorse a candidate. It's about the Democrats and the Republicans excluding the Independence Party from even having the same free airtime that they receive when they have their broadcast debates. And so what I do is I post my positions in YouTube videos like this one on Twitter and at my website, stevecarlsonforcongress2010.com. And I post real solutions. And let me get into a few that I couldn't list in my 2 minute spot. I've talked about creating millions of jobs by just, if Congress will amend the National Bank Act so that Minnesota will be able to enforce our own usury laws and our consumers won't be drowning in debt that they have to pay to foreign banks for exorbitant interest rates. 20%, I think, of Minnesota is in collections. And so what this would allow families to do is to free up some money to buy things they really need, and it would create jobs for Minnesotans that would be creating goods and services that people can't afford right now because they're in debt up to their neck. And obviously, it would prevent things like this housing finance crisis where people were just playing with the money. It was basically play money. And if we could set our usury laws, that could be applied to mortgages too, and lenders could be held accountable. That's the other thing. We could hold our own lenders accountable. As you know, they've been passing off all of their accountability in home finance loans and mortgages to these gigantic lenders, and then they're going back to the taxpayers using Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So another thing we could do is we can secure the Mexican border by bilateral cooperation, including human rights and security as well as economic development. So essentially, we would replace fences and crime with factories and opportunity. So I do really appreciate what KSTP was able to do. We would replace Obamacare with targeted campaigns against killer diseases. We would restore religious liberties, protect religious belief, and we would protect America and its environment, and including our gray wolves. I don't know if I was able to get that in the movie like my wife wanted me to, because in the PSA, because it was such a short time. But this is, now I also pointed out, do you know that we can take the money out of politics right now? Not just what I'm doing. This is one way to do it. But if you and I could speak the truth about my positions using your email, address that you voluntarily submit to the Secretary of State when you register to vote. It's very often when you vote. As public information, we could have much better communication than Al Franken, a TV star, and his 30-second sound bites. So this is what I wanted to say. I just want to get this out. So be aware that I have 140 videos on YouTube, and I post those in Twitter, many Twitter sites around the state and actually the nation and world. And I also post them on my website, Steve Carlson for Congress2010.com. I'm Steve Carlson. I approve this message, and thank you for watching.
November's coming, November 2nd, they say. You know it's gonna be a big election day. This year is the big one. America's in trouble, and we need a new Congress to save the day. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. With the Democrats everywhere. But all they can come up with is Obamacare. They want the public option called the single payer. They just left insurance costs way up in the air. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. With all the folks watching the healthcare scam, the Tea Party caused a real capital jam. We want our healthcare system back, I say. But we don't need more fines and more taxes to pay. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. Well, our nation's great financial energy. It drives our innovation and our synergy. We've got to protect our Constitution, but not every financial institution. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. Colette says we're a post-racial society, but we still don't have just equal opportunity. Red, brown, and yellow, black, tan, and white. We've got to pull together to make it all right. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. Well, Betty McCollum, she's the incumbent, but she's just a party whip. She's totally redundant. She whips the other members so they won't stray. Make sure they do what Nancy Pelosi say. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. This down in Arizona along the Mexican border. They say we need a little more law and order, but we need better relations with Mexico. Let's start with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Vote for change. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. I've got to talk to you about that unborn child, the one who came to you so very meek and mild. You know he sent your life that little miracle, 'cause he's counting on you to complete the cycle of love. Vote for the Unity Party. This year we need America's Community Party. Our brothers in Afghanistan, they're fighting the power, but they just can't cut and run at the appointed hour. We sent them over there because we really need them, to let the people know that we're defending our freedom. Vote for change. Vote for the American Community Party.